Happy New Year, Hillside. Well, this morning I was reading in Luke chapter 5, and it opens with the time that Jesus is teaching, and there's so many people. He goes into the boat to teach, and he gets in Simon's boat, and after he's done, he tells him to put out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. And Simon answers, it says, "Master, we toiled all night and took nothing, but at your word I will let down the nets." And they do so, and they have a ton of fish, more than they can take. And I was just struck by this, how um, he had he points out that all night they tried and they could get nothing. They worked and worked and there was nothing. And yet Jesus tells him to go back, and he's not a disciple. Yet it's after this that he says he followed him. So he just heard, he had heard Jesus speak to the people that day from his boat, and he taught with wisdom and authority, and so he decided to act on it, even though he knew from his experience that that's not what happened, or not what he had experienced, and it seemed crazy and illogical. Yet he did it anyway, in this kind of leap of faith, or maybe it was desperation, I don't know, and it worked. And I just thought about times where uh, some of the promises of Jesus sometimes, or promises of God, sometimes seem crazy or impossible or illogical, and it can hinder our, belief, or we might think healing. I don't know if I can have that, or prospering, or maybe the promise that God's always with you. You think constantly, how can He be here right now, or in certain situations, and these things that it's hard to believe. Yet Simon, despite not feeling that this was realistic, he did it anyway, and believing that anyway, and praying for that anyway, despite thinking that it's illogical or crazy. Or maybe it was in a command of God, or I'm telling you to do something, and you thought, that is crazy, God. For instance, when I was 10 years old and my parents felt like God was wanting our family to pick up and move across the country from California to Ohio, and they didn't have jobs yet, but sell your house and buy a new one, or buy the new one before we even sold the old one. But stepping out in faith like that, God provided, and how much that's blessed our family. Or for myself, when it was, go back to school, change your entire career path, and then, pick up and move to Reno, and just the ways that seems like, God, that's crazy. I have a great job and really well provided for. I'm very comfortable, but okay, I guess. And but the way that I realized after the fact how much that's blessed me, and how much happier I am, even though I don't have maybe all of the things that the world wouldn't call as much as a successful um, career or whatever. But it's so much more beneficial to me and to the kingdom of God, and to my relationship with Him. And so, yeah, just what if there's something, or a time right now that has you feeling like, God, that's crazy, or that's impossible. I just want to encourage you to, that's what it is, to step out in faith. We do it anyway, and in doing so, we build our faith, and we get to walk into all the blessings that God has for us. So just want to leave you with that today, and I love you guys, and we'll see you next time.